Hello everybody and welcome back to Pathfinder Plays, and today we are going over to the PlayDeadMatter.com official website and the official blog, and we are going to be looking at everything that they have to offer during their Canadian Thanksgiving development update. Happy Thanksgiving, Canadians. First things first, Nomad has been working on the mines and he's trying to make it more interesting, and so he's added danger, he's added interest, but he's also added refuge chambers. As you can see right here, I'm assuming this is it, and these chambers you'll probably have to fight to get to, but they will contain useful survival items. Super cool. I love it. You're not going through the mine and you're like, wow, I really hope this is going to be worth it. You know it's going to be worth it, because look at that thing. It's a giant room with gear in it. They've also added computers. In my last video about my very first Q&A video on their Discord, they talked about computers, and I was really interested to see how they would utilize computers in a game like this. But this is how, at least one of the ways that are how. They are adding these computers that are like really early to mid 90s style computers, which I love, by the way. Now, what they're actually going to do with this, I don't know. They did say that there could be an issue with storage space required by the game if a video file is needed to be created for every option presented to the player. But either way, guys, I'm excited to see this in here. I think even if it was just for looks, it does a lot for the game. Over here, we have Tack Error. He's been working on the M416 barrel variants of 11, 14, 16, and 20-inch lengths. So you guys can see, you have the from shortest barrel to longest barrel. So good. So freaking good, dude. I love it. I love it a lot. Gunslinger. Doors. He has been working on door animations. Some of these doors you can run through both ways. Some of these doors you have to interact to get in through either way. And some of these doors you have to interact on just one side and you can run through on the other side. It just depends. But another important thing to note is that zombies, depending on the door, can run in after you. So be really careful which kind of a door you run through if you're not going to try to stop and lock it or close it or barricade it. I don't know if that's an option. If there's like a dresser by the door, I'm not sure if it's going to be an option to run through the door, see that it can be pushed open like you just did, and you can tip over a dresser in front of it just for, I guess, a temporary obstacle. That would be super cool. I hope they do something like that. But Gunslinger has also been working on the perk system, and those of you who have ever played Project Zomboid are immediately going to notice where they got this inspiration from. They have positive perks and they have negative perks. The positive ones, as you guys can see right here, give you benefits as you go through this life. Pistol, rifle, shotgun, melee proficiency. Obviously, you're going to do better with those specific weapons. Thick skin, less likely to bleed when injured. All these things give you a fantastic yet specific purpose in this game, and with your character specifically. But for balance, they also added negative perks, and the reason why you would do a negative perk is so that way you get more points to spend on positive perks if you so choose. Now, these ones include things like Paranoid, which I think is really awesome. Play random gunshots around the character. Nobody else will be able to hear those gunshots, by the way. That was confirmed in the Discord, or on their Reddit page. I also made the suggestion that in a company with the gunshot sounds that the character hears, there should also be maybe whispers, zombie snarls, voices, something that would make sense with a paranoid person, right? Or maybe even see humanoid silhouette in the distance. That would be freaking amazing, because paranoid people, paranoid schizophrenics, they see things, they hear all kinds of things. I think it would be amazing, and it would be more common in the zombie apocalypse. Especially with somebody who's a white-collar worker, never worked in an outdoor survival occupation like military or perhaps even LEO, Coast Guard, and all of a sudden everything's gone. One would have to wonder how well their mind would handle that kind of a situation. It is important to note before I move on that these perks, they're made for the purpose of accompanying other survivors. So I think it won't be impossible to be an like a really rounded out character, but I do think the rounding out process will be limited. For instance, one person could have 5-star cook and he could be your guys' cook. One person can craft advanced items. One person can repair vehicles. And that person who can repair vehicles can also have the driver perk as well, where he can drive and handle vehicles better. If you have a medic in your group, he can use donor to make you a universal blood type, and along with EMT, so he can use medical items faster. So there's so many things that you could do to round out your group as a whole. So whenever you get in the game with your friends, try to think out before time how you guys want to play, what kind of character you want to create, and then focus on that character. Remember your perks and focus on that to have the best possible experience. Full disclosure, as they are saying here, the perks themselves, the effects, and their even inclusion are subject to change and still a work in progress, but I like the way these all look. These are fantastic. Here you can get a brief look at where they would put the perks. I don't know how they'll look if you're able to get more than just 2. I don't know how many points you're able to get. I don't know any of that. But this is kind of what you're gonna see for, in this example, slow metabolism. But just so you guys know, they are trying to make the perks more interesting than just player does X, task Y% faster. Rizzler has been working on props and player containers such as luggage. Thank you, Rizzler. Stefan have been finishing the modeling and texturing base weapons as well as backer skins for the Dragunov shown in the last blog post. Oh my... Dude, look at this. Look at that engraving. My first time seeing this, by the way. Dude, that looks absolutely amazing. Look at the intricacy. Look at that. That is absolutely phenomenal. Dude, great job. Oh my gosh, that is just the sickest looking Dragunov I've ever seen. Your eyes would immediately go, it would go to the center of the gun, but right over here, to the buttstock there's a little bit of engraving as well. So that is very, very, very good. Shiny Haxorus has been working on replacing sounds for pistols and rifles and cleaning up the animations. If you guys didn't think they were good already, which I thought they were freaking fabulous, he's making them even better. I can't get enough. Look at these weapons. Look at them. Look at that one. Look at that angle. Oh my gosh. Literally one of the best things I've ever seen. And Shirk is continuing his work on the collision meshes discussed in the September blog post. Since the last blog, Shirk has been working on the collision and LOD's level of details of the buildings. We covered that in the last deadmatter.info video, and I showed you guys how that's going on, and it looks like he's making great progress. Look at this. Completed items. He only has the trailer park homes, Jim Norton's EH&W police station hospital left to do. That is very, very cool. And this right here is a lot of reading. Although it talks a lot about work efficiency, what Shirk was doing in comparison to what he's doing now. And essentially what it's saying is it's really stinking hard to make accurate buildings with distinct architecture for different areas. So architecture in the mountains and ski resorts and stuff is going to be a lot different than architecture in the city. Also, if you make a building and you find out that there should be a bathroom, kitchen, or furnace, or some other facility like that, and you don't have it, odds of you being able to add that after you've already created everything else in the building is unlikely. So you would have to scrap the entire building over again, which takes 1 day to 1 week to complete, by the way, for a single building, and redo it. So what they've been doing, what he's been doing, is trying to find blueprints or escape routes for these buildings. And they use Google Images, by the way, and they use a program to input that image into the program. So they're using real life stuff and real life photos to try to make the scenery as realistic as possible. And I really appreciate that. Right here we see the evacuation procedures. It's not necessarily supposed to be a blueprint, but guess what? It is. And so from there, he's able to construct the internal design of the buildings in that way. And guys, that's going to be about it. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something new. If you guys like scares, survival, and scavenging, consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell button so you always get notified of all my Dead Matter videos and you learn something new. And I will see you guys again in the next one. Path out.